This is do or die. Feel it in my veins tonight. Emotional suicide. You know it's an eye for eye. I didn't wanna walk the plank. No, but the Mariona, it came like the thunder. I was on my way to going under. Swimming in the pain, yeah, I was covered in a tidal wave, but I'm a fighter. Try to take me down, I'm going higher. Baby, you've been playing with some fire. You've been playing with fire. One day you will see what you made of me. Found my inner peace. You are peace in the dead of night. Maybe when it's still dark, you know it's an eye for eye. Feel the energy around in the dead of night. You can save your alibi. I already know you lied. Oh no, no, don't even try. Watch the flame in me ignite. You didn't wanna walk the plank. But the Mariona, it came. Baby, it was dark, it was hard to see. And that's when a spark lit inside of me. Oh, I was lost in reverie. One day you will see what you made of me, what's inside of me. One day you will see I found my inner peace. You are peace in the dead of night. In the dead of night. Baby, when it's still dark, you know it's an eye for eye. Feel the energy around in the dead of night. 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 And one day you will see what you made of me, what's inside of me. Oh, and one day you will see I found my inner beast, and you are Tiffany's.
Back to time. I've been busy running my mouth dry, speaking lines of how to find higher hopes and sensibilities meant for me. Let's dive in, create a problem just to fix it. The perfect fit. We're back to time, catching up on all the things we missed, all our interests. people who stand out, the faceless crowd, lost and found, picking up on the speed of sound to faster ground, moving on. I can't hold back all the new progress, what I've done best, but how about now? Showing off all the things we missed, all your interests.
Don't like the lights, but it's camera time. Said take the picture, but you rolled your eyes. Now I'm mortified and still terrorized. Push me behind to get me from my better side. I wanna push you back, but that's all you want. Wanna wrap me up, I'm holding back. Tryna get me framed, throw me in cuffs. Said I attacked you, that's just a false truth. No need to argue, and yeah, I've had enough. You follow me anywhere I try to be alone, I find you there. There's more to me, everywhere I try to go alone, I find you there. You follow me anywhere I try to be alone, I find you there. I'm so scared to leave my house, so I cannot run free from this. Always being watched by you, and that's so inconsiderate. My privacy, those that exist, probably haven't heard of it. Need to live a different life, cause lights and cameras are in it. Trying to find a silver lining, all I wanna do is avoid the violence. But you're here again, I'm losing it. There's no more screaming in silence. Get out my face, turn off the flash. I hate the fame, no more of that. Leave me alone or I'll collapse. I need a break, don't feel the crack. You follow me anywhere I try to be alone, I find you there. There's more to me, everywhere I try to go alone, I find you there. Yeah, yeah. You follow me anywhere I try
what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? I have an open invitation, but you're telling me go get lost. I don't wanna see your face. Yeah, what the hell? So why don't we stay out till the morning light? 'Cause two wrongs can make a right. We're just doing what we're feeling right now. So Chardonnay, we camp in the parking lot. Leave traces of plastic cups. We're just doing what we're feeling right now. So what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get, so what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? So what the hell? So what the hell? What are you waiting for now? You're pretending that you like somebody else, like you got boys waiting in line to take you home. But tell the truth, you'll spend the night alone. Let's be alone. So why don't we stay out till the morning light? 'Cause two wrongs can make a right. We're just doing what we're feeling right now. So what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get, so what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? Are you waiting? So what the hell? So what the hell? What are you waiting for now? So what the hell? Why you hanging on the roof all by yourself? Always waiting for the one, but I got news for you. I'm the best that you can get, so what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? So what the hell? Whoa, whoa, oh, I don't wanna take you home with me. Take you home with me. I don't get what you're saying. All of these games you're playing. Can't bother reading your message. No, I'm not here for your show, wasn't asking. But I've been quitting what you're taking. I've been sipping cause I'm making no regrets, I'm not insistent. Just gonna be what you were, I'm not missing you, yeah. I'm fucking down with all this shit you told me. Just to grab that I met you, damn you hold me down. All my fortune's just been wasted, all gone. Oh, you made me feel alone. You thought there's a cure, I went and let you be. Now I know for sure I don't wanna take you home with me. I don't wanna take you home with me.
do. Before you.
Sure do like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening. It's so fun and games until it doesn't toss me out. I'll hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller you fade out. Hop up in the window. Like a no-name, so sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same. Boo-hoo, poor you, please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies, you wanted my demise. Now you're watching me rise, rise, rise. Up in the window, smaller and smaller you fade out. Up in the window. Watch me levitate. You gotta give my vibe, no, there's no way. I'm flying high above your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You gotta give my vibe, no, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate.
guess it's been a while since I fell in love. But after last time, don't wanna mess things up. You're so beautiful, and I can't deny. My heart is always with you, my head's always stuck in time. Love, let me go, 'cause I've been holding on for far too long.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Corsair Live. I'm your host, Trisha Hershberger, and today we have got such an awesome stream lined up for you. We've got 3 great products to talk about, 2 that we'll be newly announcing today, and 1 that was just recently announced that we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into. But before we get into our products, let me introduce our fantastic panel of guests, Robey and George Makris. Welcome, guys. Robey, how are you, dude?
I'm just so excited to be on a panel. It's so official. I'm so happy to be.
Say the word panel.
So it's like, I'm on a panel. I'm an expert. You guys be ready.
Like we're on Chop or
exactly,
something.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, though, you guys are both really experts. Robey, you build PCs more often than anybody else I know in real life.
And you should get more friends.
Well, you know, I mean, this man builds a lot of PCs, okay? And George, you're always just overflowing with knowledge during these live streams.
I'm overflowing with something. But this is for sure. I do my best to bring in as much knowledge as I can. You know, and like I said, you try and fake it till you make it, right? So we got a bunch of cool stuff. I'll talk about what I know about it, and what I don't know about it, I'll just make up, and it sounds good.
Perfect. Well, you guys feeling good? Should we just jump right into this?
I am so excited knowing what I know that I am ready to jump in.
All right, let's do it.
I think that sounds great.
Let's go.
Head first.
All right then, gentlemen, let's get to work. There has been so much going on since we all last got together. Last time we announced the amazing Corsair Xeneon monitor. What else has Corsair been up to, George?
Well, like I said, we did the monitor. We did the Elite LCD coolers, which were the cool LCD screen cooler for the CPU coolers. And then we did a bunch of other cool stuff. We got keyboards. We got the new 12th generation Corsair ones that are out there. And we got a bunch of cool stuff. We just launched the new keyboard, which we're going to talk about here in just a second, right?
Yes. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at the K70 RGB Pro. I have not gotten hands on yet, but it looks beautiful. Robey, thoughts?
Well, here's my thoughts. Like, I love their choice of switches and the durability, right? Like, we were joking a little bit going into this, just how much abuse WASD takes on any gamer, any gaming, and then at the same time, like the clickety click that you need, because unlike just like RGB, clicks equals frames as well. It's a new thing, and so I'm just letting you know it's proven. It's scientifically proven, and you get it announced right here on the show.
I take back that expert comment that I made earlier, Robey. No, seriously though, the K70 RGB Pro, what did it say? 100 million keystrokes is what it's rated for. And while I think a lot of us look at that number and think, oh, there's no way I'll ever get there, WAS&D get a lot of love. So that's a very, very valid point. George, what else can you tell us about the newly announced K70 RGB Pro?
For me, it's kind of a Goldilocks thing, right? Because there's the K100 at the top end, which is the big one with all the macro keys and the dial. And then there's the 10 keyless stuff, with K65 mini and stuff like that. And in between there is like, hey, I don't personally use macro keys very much. So I don't really need the extra space of the K100, but I do use my 10 key all the time. So I can't use my 10 keyless keyboard. So for me, K70 is the way to go. I love the K70. Obviously, tons of you guys do as well. We sell tons of those things. I'm just stoked it got adjusted and updated. It's got all kinds of cool little tweaks and features to it. I think Michael Gray is going to talk to us about some of them right quick. He's the PM for it. So should we send it to him and show his video?
Let's do it.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael Gray. and I'm here today to introduce you to the newest member of the legendary K70 keyboard family, the K70 RGB Pro. Carrying forward the legacy of the K70, the Pro model features fan favorites like our signature brushed aluminum frame, convenient onboard controls including multifunction volume roller, and reliable Cherry MX key switches rated for up to 100 million keystrokes, so you really can't blame me for missing that jump. New to the Pro model is a streamlined profile offering a clean and modern look with stealth indicators, including one for newly added onboard macro recording and shine-resistant PBT double shot keycaps that have legends molded into the plastic to resist fading and wear with rigid 1.5mm thick walls that deliver long-lasting durability, stability, and brilliant per-key RGB backlighting. We've also updated the ergonomics to include a second adjustment for tilt angle, so the keyboard can tilt more instead of you. Underneath the stylish exterior, the K70 RGB Pro uses our innovative Axon hyperprocessing technology that detects and transmits keystrokes up to 8 times faster than conventional gaming keyboards. Your Cherry MX inputs not only go from press to PC in about 250 microseconds, but Axon is also super efficient and can play up to 20 layers of lighting effects programmed through iCUE and stored onto one of up to 50 onboard profiles. It's kind of like attaching a computer to your computer. The K70 series has always been popular with our esports teams, and the new Pro model is designed to compete. With a detachable Type-C cable that connects quickly and is easily cable routed, a magnetic palm rest that snaps into place and offers a patterned soft-touch surface for grip, as well as our unique tournament mode switch that disables accidental macro activations and distractions so you can focus on winning. The CORSAIR K70 RGB Pro delivers the pinnacle of performance and durability needed to win game after game. Visit Corsair.com to learn more.
Now, Robey, I know that you got a chance to spend some time with the Origin crew recently. Can you tell us a little bit about what you were up to?
Yeah, so Cliff B, and for those of you who don't know who Cliff B is, he's the creator behind the legendary Gears of War series, had a system that, let's just say, is suboptimal for what you might need to do really creative work. And so Kevin, who was following along with Twitter, was like, dude, we need to upgrade your system. So the team at Origin reached out to me and said, hey, what do you think about coming to awesome Raleigh, North Carolina, which was like a beautiful day, and let's redo the setup for him and his wife, who also does some streaming. And I was like, that sounds great. Let me grab my crew. So we all flew down there. We shot this like ridiculous video, made awesome like new setups, like cable managed to the nines. You would have been proud, George. You would have been proud. I'm telling you, he's proud now. Look at him.
I'm proud.
That's his proud face. Yep.
Custom water cooled, all Corsair parts, and we did the world debut of the first 12th gen Corsair 1, right? Which was actually super cool as well. So we got some beautiful B-roll. We actually used crazy cameras to shoot the whole thing together. It came out super cool.
See, I think there's a generational gap here though, because you say Cliff B is famous for Gears of War, but I'm older, so for me it's like Unreal Tournament. That's like, you know, because I'm actually 97 years old. I don't know, I don't look it. Yeah.
You don't look a day over 18.
No, I know.
I honestly thought you were an intern.
George is also a vampire, is what we've learned today.
I moisturize.
Yeah, George is also a vampire. Robey, I know that we have some footage that we can take a look of this build, but quickly before we go to that footage, do you have a personal favorite part of this kind of streaming gaming room makeover that you did for Cliff B?
Yeah, I think our personal favorite was when we actually did the custom water-cooled rig. And I think it's funny, like going behind the scenes, we built that PC, we got off of the first part of the shoot at like 2 in the afternoon, and we ended up finishing that home film section at 2 in the morning. So it took us 10 hours to shoot that whole thing together, but it came out so good. So of my favorite thing, like those builds were done with just incredible care. And huge shout out to the team at Origin with their great UV printing and the customization we were able to do. She cried. Like she cried when she saw the system. It was so cool.
Was it like happy tears? Or?
Oh yeah, it was. Okay. Well, you weren't there, so she was pretty sad too. But at the same time, yes,
she had her own stuff going on.
Yeah, she had her own stuff. She was like, George, what? But it was so cool, so primo. It was a great moment to catch on camera.
I have to say, I'm so infinitely jealous. Anytime you want to fly to LA and redo my setup, Robey, you're welcome to. And for those of you in chat that might not have seen Robey's builds or setups before, they are gorgeous. Let's take a look at this setup for Cliff B. right, everyone, let's do this thing right. It is the time everyone has been waiting for. We are about ready to announce 2 brand new products, but first, let's do a giveaway, huh? For your chance to win a K70 RGB Pro with Cherry MX speed switches, an M65 RGB Ultra wireless, and an MM700 RGB mouse pad. All you need to do is sign up using the link that is in chat, and the powers that be will choose one lucky winner. And if you don't win this time, it's okay. We're gonna be doing giveaways like this throughout the show today, so make sure that you are paying attention. Now, George, you have been a mainstay in the PC building scene for a while, and you have seen the long evolution of PC rigs and how they've gone from, back in the days of do you want the beige or the black tower, all the way to where we are now. Where do you think we're headed from here?
I think that we've got, added RGB lighting, of course. I think we're going to start inventing new colors. We're going to just come up with all new stuff.
Yes.
Way outside the human visible color range.
What is your name
Infrared,
for
ultraviolet. We're doing all kinds. No.
What's your next color name?
George. I'm just calling everything George
great.
now. No, I think that what we're really going to see is just kind of acceleration of customization and moving in that way. So obviously now, you can build a PC with a window and you can change the lighting on the fans and all that stuff. We've been able to do that now for a while, and IQ can control all of it, which is really cool. But I think that people want to do something that's a little bit more robust than just, change the lighting on their fans and change the fan speed. So I think that, the idea of customizing your PC so it matches your kind of personality and tone, I think that's the most important thing that we're going to see from a user customization standpoint. Obviously, performance is incredible with Intel's 12th gen and NVIDIA graphics card stuff with the 30 series they just launched and all those things that are going on. But I think that, cooling that, powering that is critical. But once you get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, you still need to get something that makes it yours. The reason to build your own PC is you don't want to just go buy the same thing from the store that everybody else could have, right? You want to make it different. So how do you make that kind of reflect who you are a little bit better? And I think that's the next step.
Okay, and what about you, Roby? I mean, you have an entire YouTube channel that's dedicated to PC building and just kind of making kind of the latest and greatest and coolest new unique customizations. What are some of the things that you think are most important to modern builds?
Well, I think George nailed it on the head. Like, I feel like we've had this evolution that has come with cooling and everything else. And now what people really want, especially with how much the DIY community has blown up, is personality out of their builds. I feel like as we've moved into this digital age of just sharing, and I mean, we're sharing everything, people want to show off their rigs and they don't want it to look the same. And so the one thing, and I know I'm hyping it up a little bit, we're going to get there, but this thing is going to allow not just, what I think is so cool is not just DIYers, but also those modders who've also been looking for things. So yeah, I think really it's just about oozing personality and creating stuff that lets us get that through. Like, we should.
Like we should.
Yeah.
I think that we've probably waited enough to, we teased it a little bit. Should we let people see it?
Yes, have we teased it enough? Let's do it. Let's show off the next product.
I'm telling you, that thing is going to be so rad. I am very excited to see what people actually do with this. And like I said, it's not just DIY PC builders, but modders. I mean, imagine basically putting a metal plate around a vertically mounted GPU and surrounding the GPU with those lights. I mean, That's by the way, that's copyrighted. You can't do that.
That's a
until I do
Robey
it.
original at this point. No, I love it, and I love that they're magnetic. And also, like, I feel that like nowadays our PC builders are a bit more sophisticated when it comes to cable management. And if you aren't doing liquid cooling, then you essentially have this entire blank canvas off to the side of your tower potentially to use now with the LC100. This is awesome.
Yeah, like in a 5000 series or 7000 series case, you have that steel plate over that the side panel motherboard mount fans location. That would be a great place to mount a bunch of lights.
Yeah. And you can have them wrapped too, right? Like that's a part that like I love that it can go up and then over and in.
Right.
It's like it's going to be 3D, great. Yeah, math is going to be awesome.
Math. Just throw out ratings. Math. Science.
Science.
Well,
light.
we were math and sciencing and lightsing while you guys were watching that video, and I think we have all now completed our designs.
Yep.
So we thought it might be fun. Chat, this is going to be like a little friendly challenge, and you get to decide which of these creations you like the best. There's no real prize other than internet points and bragging rights amongst friends,
Wait,
right?
what?
But
That is the only thing I care about, to be quite honest, is street cred.
it's all that matters in the entirety of the world. With that
Internet
said,
street cred.
right? All of the internet street cred could be yours, Robey. No pressure. What did you create?
Well, okay, so I feel like I came from a disadvantage because I was 3/4 done with my RT, which was from my thing. You're like, you can't do that. You already had that design.
Too much practice.
So then I had 15 seconds to put together Robeysaurus, which is like this. Look at it. It's like it's green. I mean, I'm sure it's showing it right now, but you guys, at least it's the right color. And, I just realized you can switch it around and it's the same shape. No, I was a genius, creative genius. Points, internet points.
Total creative genius. If you had to give your dinosaur an official dinosaur name, what would it be?
Robeytechosaurus.
Or Pete.
Or Pete. I was going to say George, but that name's already taken.
Yeah.
The name is taken. So whether you call it Robeytechosaurus or Pete, chat, let us know your thoughts on this creation. My creation, I'm going to save George's for last because I have a feeling it's going to be something epic. My creation is a Triforce. And I also had a little fun with the colors of the LC100 with this Triforce. And I'm pretty proud of it. I feel like the Triforce is a good message for every day to remember how to live your life. And
I feel like you're pandering to the crowd here. I feel like that's what this is. Like you just know, man, that's not fair.
I don't think it's pandering to the crowd. This is a specifically PC build crowd. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, there is a Venn diagram that overlaps with Legend of Zelda for sure.
It's almost a circle. At
It's
this point.
almost,
yeah. It's a pretty
sure. Yeah, keep playing it off there, Trisha. That's fine.
Slight differences. All right, George, what do you have for us?
I decided that I was going to do something a little bit different, obviously, and I wanted to make the Mona Lisa, but that was like $75,000 worth of triangles. So instead I made a kitten.
Oh,
It is a mammal. That's true.
Does this kitten have a name?
Kevin.
Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Kevin
okay,
the kitten. I can feel that. I can feel that. And why did you go with the color scheme you went with?
I wanted to do 2 different colors, and I did.
And you did.
I don't
So
have any
good.
solid reasoning.
Wait, you guys, we are getting an in-depth look.
Yeah, look, who knows where thoughts come from?
With you, I don't think we'd know. At this point in time.
I think Socrates believed that like ideas just existed in the ether, and you just kind of had to be around and grab one when it floated by, and that's what happened here. I was here when the golden head kitten kind of floated by. I presented it to you.
I do want to call out one thing though. Is when Trisha started, she goes, "Hey, I want to save Kevin for last because he was going to do something epic," but she then said me first. So that tells you something that she knew Robeytechosaurus was going to be a letdown. But you guys can vote.
It's going to be a letdown. Let's start
You
with
are
Robey.
putting that out there, Robey. I did not say that at all. I honestly think all of our creations were wonderful. And I know that makes me sound like a preschool teacher, but I do.
Thanks, Miss Trisha.
I think that all of our creations are wonderful, but it's not up to me to decide who wins the imaginary internet points challenge. It is up to chat. So while you are debating which design you like the best, I am going to introduce our next little section here. Those of you with a really keen eye may have seen that in some of the videos we showed earlier in the stream, there was a little something else special shown. So with that being said, let's play this next product video.
Yes, I am. Yes, that's all I'm going to say. Yes.
Roby gives it a yes.
I give it a yes.
George, talk to us about the 5000T that we just saw.
It is the successor to our kind of long span of design-focused cases. So kind of elevating the design elements and the build quality and adding, design for the sake of design without impinging on performance or quality or anything like that. So one of the things that I like about this case is the silhouette. It's really cool. It's got a nice shape to it. It's got some really nice steel parts on the top that covers the top mesh area. It's got some nice steel feet under it and swing out doors for easy access, which is great. Tempered glass, obviously. And then obviously the RGB LED strips and the LED fans. So it comes with 3 LL120 fans, which is nice, but it also has built-in RGB LED strips for another 160 LEDs that you can control individually through IQ software, which I think is actually kind of nice because back in the olden days, we had to do this stuff manually with, push buttons and hand cranks and things. We had to churn the butter and then turn your...
Well, and now all you have to do is step on the steam pedal.
Yeah, steam deck pedal, like go to blue and slap the button. Yeah, no, it's actually, it's nice to be able to tie all that stuff in through software. So, when you have 160 LEDs outside of the fans, plus the fan LEDs, so you're, talking about all the control of that. All of that stuff is controlled with the Commander Core XT, which is a very boring looking little product. It's a tiny little black rectangle. But what's in it is a really nice microcontroller that ties into IQ that allows you to change the fan speeds based on temperatures, allows you to change lighting based on temperatures, allows you to set anything you want to do, even do input from temperature input sensors so that you can adjust things like we were talking about earlier, where you can adjust the fan speed based on your GPU temperature of the sensor near the GPU. So your GPU gets over a certain temperature, lights go red, fans crank up, goes back down, lights turn green, fans go back down. You can do all that stuff there. And I think that's really important because a lot of people don't realize that with all the new high-end hardware that's out there from Intel and NVIDIA, you really need to get them cooled well to get the maximum performance you paid for, right? And otherwise, they're going to start throttling. So you have these awesome 12th generation Intel processors or RTX 30 series graphics. If they're too hot, they slow down. And with as hard as stuff can be defined these days, you want to get every ounce of performance you can out of everything you have. So I think it's really important to make sure you have the better cooling. This case does not affect the cooling negatively in any way. You still have the mesh front, still have mesh top, still have a ton of fan mounts. You can run a nice Hydro X build in there for liquid cooling if you want to do that. Or you can get really good air cooling out of it. So for me, it takes everything the 5000 series did and keeps it there. And then it adds on top of it, cooler design elements, some really nice structural pieces, and probably the best built-in lighting system in the industry.
And it's a 5000, it's a 5000D plus. It's above the 5000D, right? It's like a bundle package that you get. It's like the way that I thought of it, because I've had some time with the case, actually put a couple builds in it, is it's got all the lines. It feels premium. And that's where I think this case really shines, is in that extras. And those extras end up being like, I have a great build experience, but now I can do things with the Commander Core. Like, hey, as a streamer, I'm getting notifications that I'm having overheating issues. So I'm just going to take a break and go to chat and nobody else sees that. Or I'm big on Instant. I want to make sure my scene looks really good. So I've got a lot of lighting, afterglow, and it's all basically reacting based on all the stuff that we have in IQ. And then the build experience in and of itself, I can put the fans this way or that way. I can add custom water cooling with all the different radiator configurations. The case has it all and plus. And the only two is like we were talking about, like just off stream, like talking about some of the math, right? Like you sit there and you think like 160 lights, like at $12 for like 10, right? All of a sudden that starts to add up pretty quick. And to have all that stuff included plus cable managed,
that's
amen.
So
amen always for the built-in cable management.
I would pay somebody a certain amount of money to just manage the cables on my case. Like I've actually thought, when I had a bunch of guys who worked for me in the tech marketing team, I actually thought about, hey, if I just brought my home system and gave it to this guy and bought him lunch, would he just do my cable management for me so I'm not embarrassed anytime someone sees my computer? I never actually did that because I do respect the line, but I wouldn't be lying if I said I didn't think about it. Sorry, guys.
I think a lot of us have thought about it. But Roby, you do so much building in these, and your cable management is always pristine.
Yep.
I think you were telling me earlier you've built twice now in the 5000T.
Yep.
What would you say are some of the features that are in this that are specifically builder focused, that someone maybe newly building in a 5000T for the first time would be like, Heck yes, that's where it's at.
And I think that's the part that it probably excites me about the most, because like for me, as somebody who builds with new builders all the time, I'm like with Intel and all that stuff, is a lot of times you get in there and it doesn't feel like there's enough room. But because it's built on the 5000D chassis, the build just, it goes in nice. It's a great building experience. It's very modular. Like you're moving things around, and the 5000T has all that stuff. But then you get the Plus, which is like the, hey, I'm gonna hook up a bunch of RGB and there's 9 bajillion wires. It's like, no, they're good, they're in. And so for a new builder or even just an enthusiast, right, like just to have that as a starting point just makes, hey, I'm gonna be able to personalize this in a really cool way just that much easier. And I think that is what is so cool about it. And then I know there's a ton of other things that you're gonna jump into and just walk through the specs, because I think we should. But yeah, that's from a builder standpoint, that's what excites me.
So you mentioned builds in those cases, but I think that our guy Hans Peter in Denmark has put together probably one of the cleanest builds I've ever seen in almost any case, but especially in the 5000T, which is new, of course. So it's kind of unfair, but he's put together some really nice builds in the past for us. This is his awesome build video that he put together to show off what you could do if you had this level of skill, talent, and video capabilities.
Let it.
Wow, HP, I got to give you credit. As somebody who builds as many PCs as I do, that is an absolutely clean, I just keep looking at it. That is such an absolutely clean build. Fantastic cable management. I love that's like, it's instant Insta.
It's
instant
gorgeous.
Insta. It's a thing. Like, no, it's gorgeous. Great. I mean, I love the parallel lines. It's just so clean. Yeah. I love clean.
Yeah, Scandinavian design stuff with the furniture and all the stuff like that. And no superfluous design, Bauhaus concepts and stuff. It's really, really pretty. And you know, even though he's not Swedish and he's from Denmark, which is, you know, second tier Scandinavian country, you know, it was still full credit to him.
I don't stand by that. I know I said George was 100% accurate, but I don't stand by that. We love you, Denmark. But seriously,
emails, Denmark. Let's go.
I don't know.
Gorgeous build.
I know, exactly. I feel like I need to go like take a minute after looking at it for a little while just to kind of recoup from this.
Be still my beating heart.
Like, I've got to, great job. Good job, HP. I keep saying it, but yeah, awesome.
Wow, the look of that custom Corsair PC that HP built was just incredible. And I mean, speaking of beautiful PCs and custom builds, I believe the Origin team has their own version of the 5000T available in their Millennium line of desktops too. The 5000T is available on Corsair.com, but also you can configure a full system on OriginPC.com. And speaking of things that you can actually get in hand, I believe it's time for our next giveaway. So for your chance to win a 5000T RGB case in white and an LC100 starter kit, sign up now using the link in the chat and we will pick one lucky winner. We've got even more giveaways coming after that though, so hang tight. All right, chat, I'm sure at this point you are probably bubbling over with questions for George and Roby about all the new stuff that we've talked about today. So this is the point of the stream where we're gonna do like a quick little break, make a switcheroo, and answer your questions live on the stream. So get those fingers ready. we're here for the Q&A. Welcome everybody. We are here for the Q&A portion, so I hope you have all your questions ready. However, before we officially get into the Q&A, hot off the presses, Corsair just dropped a huge bundle. George, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so last minute. So sorry for the last minute information, but we do have a couple of bundles with all the new products you guys just saw. So there's the case and the lighting strips, the LC100s, as well as a bunch of other components, coolers and stuff. And as a special surprise, we were able to get some Founders Edition RTX 3090s in for the bundles, which we will be selling at MSRP in that bundle. So check out the website. The link's going to be there. You guys can see it here. And you'll be able to get a 3090 Founders Edition at MSRP, as well as the bundled parts that come with that bundle from Corsair. So you get a 5000T, LC100s. We have two bundles. One is an all-in-one cooler with an Elite LCD cooler, and then the other one is a HydroX bundle that has custom cooling. So you can pick which bundle you want, add it all to cart at once, and get it right now. Very limited number of them, only a few of them. So hit the website, buy what you guys want, and you can get some Founders Edition 3090s. So thank you to NVIDIA for supplying those for us.
Yes, that is very, very exciting. Roby, welcome to the Q&A portion. How you doing today, my guy?
I'm doing very well. I am just chilling with the new products, getting ready to do another build. So I'm pretty excited and ready to answer some questions, it sounds like.
Let's do it. I am just checking in here now. Some of the questions in chat, I'm looking at both Twitch and YouTube chat right now. And some of the questions in chat are pretty spicy, not going to lie, but I'm going to see if we can find some that are specifically product related. Okay, here's one from YouTube, TK8087. How many GPUs can you install in the 5000T? George, I'm going to throw this one to you.
Do you have a Dremel? No, yeah, you can do, I believe it depends obviously on your graphics card. It's a 7-slot case. So you can do, if it's a dual slot card, you could theoretically do 3 of them side by side. I don't know why you would really install more than one GPU these days unless you're mining, but we don't talk about mining here. So realistically for gaming, I know that Crossfire and SLI are still kind of a thing in some ways, but realistically, one really good big GPU will be enough for most people in there. You can fit 2, 3 if you wanted to, if they were dual slot cards and your motherboard supported it and all the other software supported it. But realistically, yeah, you could do it. 7 slots is the answer. There is a vertical GPU mount as well that's a dual slot, so you can either move your GPU towards the glass with a PCI Express extension cable or L-shaped bracket, or you can just mount it in the standard location.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And just out of curiosity, because Roby does so many builds on the regular, Roby, how many GPUs have you ever put into a PC? Like, what's your max?
So the most we've ever done is we've done 2. So we did 2. Okay. Some guy just really wanted to go bonkers. We put 2 3090 Strixes in a single case. Yeah, that was a little over 15 grand when we got done. And it was bonkers. There was no reason for it. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with George, like especially unless you're, and it was in an ATX case, which is the part that was weird. So they were like literally starving each other. So kind of, I don't know why people do it, but sometimes they do. So we just do what people ask sometimes.
That's perfect. I can see that a couple people in the chat were having a hard time finding that bundle page when George was talking about that bundle. So we are going to put that URL in chat one more time for everybody. And in the meantime, we talked a lot during the stream about iCUE in regards to the 5000T and the LC100. George, can you kind of give us an overview with iCUE in regards to the new products?
Yeah, iCUE is obviously our software that controls all of our peripherals and components inside the PC. So there is no software in the world that does as much as iCUE does from a PC component standpoint. And I'm not just saying that from a hyperbole standpoint. It is able to, set overcurrent protection on power supplies. It is able to control RGB lighting. It is able to control fan profiles. You can upload the videos for the GIFs for the Elite LCD screens. You can control your monitor OSD settings on the Xeneon monitor. So iCUE does more than anything else does. It has also been updated with iCUE 4 last year, and we're constantly updating it. There's almost monthly drops on it with new stuff going on. I think if you look at iCUE, one of the things that's nice is it does tie in fully into the ecosystem. So if you have a iCUE Nexus controller on your keyboard, or if you have a Stream Deck, or if you have the new Stream Deck pedals, you can use iCUE profile triggers to enable things like setting silent mode for watching a movie, or high performance mode for when you're gaming and you got your headphones on. All that stuff is really neat to be able to do through IQ. And one of the things I was mentioning to Roby before is what I use it for personally is I like to set profiles for what I'm doing at the time. So I have lights and fans triggered to temperature modes. So if my GPU gets too hot, I crank up my front fans for better intake, and I change the lighting on the case so that I can just kind of, I'm in the middle of a game and I notice all my lights turned orange. That tells me visually that I'm at a certain temperature grade because I have that set up in the IQ profile. So I like to do that with IQ. I think that that's something that not everyone will do, but you can do that. And that's one of the reasons I think IQ is probably the most powerful software out there to do all this stuff.
Yeah, I love being able to monitor temperature with your lighting. I think that's so beneficial, especially if you're someone who live streams content regularly, and you're kind of pushing the limits of what your system can do, especially if you game and stream off the same PC. Having I'm someone who streams with temperature monitor window in the corner of my monitor all the time. So being able to have that done with RGB is just a nice practical use for it. I think like Roby was joking earlier, the more RGB, the more FPS. But honestly, there are practical uses.
I actually have in the Stream Deck. So Stream Deck has a nice little plugin for hardware info too. So you can use your Stream Deck to do hardware info plugins. It shows you, GPU temp or CPU temp or whatever, and then you have an IQ plugin as well. So actually, I have it set up where I see my CPU temp at a certain range, and then I have a really steep curve that's like, hey, it's going to keep the fans really low until 75 degrees, and then it cranks the fans and it cranks the lighting. So I know when I'm like in a chat with meetings or playing a game or whatever, and I see my Stream Deck thing saying like 74 or 73, I know it's about to like ramp up. It's kind of a neat thing to set up.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually talking to somebody in chat. We were doing some tech support stuff, and he was telling us a story about his son who had just got finished building a new PC, and he was looking at how his dad did it. And his dad actually set up the profiles the same way you did, George. And so when his temperatures spike, he gets all of his PC goes into red alert mode. And so he got finished turning it on, started gaming, and his PC lit up like a Christmas tree. And he was like, "What's going on?" Well, his son had basically disconnected some stuff, and he was like, "IQ safe." And I was like, okay, I mean, nice, like little Corsair like commercial there. I figured, hey, I'd save that as a nice little antidote for this stuff. But it's funny, like you'd be amazed at how little things like that can actually end up saving a build when, your son accidentally unplugs your AIO.
Yeah, that's the hilarious. Sad part. Just as a note, I was just told that they will be posting the links again for those bundles. For those of you guys who just joined the chat for Q&A, the bundles are going to be on the website, 3090 FE at MSRP, combined with all the stuff we talked about today, including LC100s and the 5000 T cases. So if you want to get a bundle with an all-in-one, you can get the Elite SLD bundle on screen right now. And if you want to scroll down, you can see the HydroX bundle as well too. So there's a HydroX bundle if you guys want to do custom cooling, and there's an all-in-one bundle if you guys just want to get up and running as quickly as possible.
Awesome. I have a question here on the LC100 from YouTube. Creative Eck on YouTube says, how many of the LC100 can you control with one connector?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I'll find out. Let me ask the product manager real quick in a chat, and I'll bring it back to the guy because I don't remember the answer
on that one. Thank you. No, but that's a great question. So thank you for that. While we're checking on that one, I have another question from Twitch that maybe Roby might know the answer to. Flory92 says, does the case support all standard Corsair all-in-ones when you install them to the top? Roby, I know you've done a little bit of building, but probably not quite as familiar with all the specs of the case as George would be.
Yeah, we have done the 240 and the 360 at the top. What I haven't tried is the 280. So that's one that it's always a. So I don't know if George, you have an answer, and I'm pretty sure the spec sheet says that it probably is supported. I'm guessing it won't be a problem. We've done the 280 and the 5000D, so since it's the same chassis, yes, I expect that it's probably fine. The only one I'm not sure is the 420. I don't think
420 you'll need a 7000 series case for the 420.
Yeah, you need a 7000 for that.
Yeah, but the 280 will fit. I also found out that you can do 18 total panels off one connector for the LC100. So the starter kit comes with 9 panels. There's an extension kit if you want to buy 9 more panels. You can do that all off one connector. If you have a internal USB hub, or if you want to use multiple internal USB 2 headers, you can do that with 2 different kits with 18 panels each. So you could conceivably just kind of daisy chain all the way until you create a society of tiny little triangles in your case.
One other thing on the AIO, you can do push-pull with the top on this, right? So I know that's one of the other things that people don't like, or probably saw, like it's got, even though it's a little tapered, it fits just fine. We're actually doing it in a build today. So yeah, if you want to do that with your AIO, this has got like that nice, beautiful fit. So you can throw some like nice fans on top and then do push-pull on your radiator.
Yeah, and that's actually something someone asked me before, is how many fans total can you fit in this 5000T? There's 3 fan mounts in the front, there's the 3 on top, the 1 in the back, plus the motherboard panels, 3 more. So that's, 3, 6, 9, 10, but that doesn't count the push-pull. So if you wanted to do push-pull on top, you could conceivably add another 3 on there. So you could do 13. And mathematically, if you want to do push-pull in front as well, you could do another 3. So if you're talking push-pull on radiators and you have the room to do it, you could just kind of stack fans to get up to like 16 reasonably. It would be a challenge, but it's not something that is beyond what I've seen guys do weirder stuff before. So I know that our 1000D build had 34 fans in it in the 1000D, and I've seen guys online that beat that with, a comical number of fans.
Thank you for that. Over on YouTube, Cool Facts asked, will the XD7 pump reservoir fit on the 5000T?
It should. It's 360. I have to double check with the team, but I'm 99% sure it should fit in there. It's a 360 distribution block reservoir, so it should fit fine in the front. There's a 360 mount. I know I've seen it fit in a 5000D, and the chassis, the frame is almost identical, so it should fit fine. I'll double check to make sure, but 99% sure, yes.
Awesome. I see a lot of questions in chat also speculating about, will Corsair ever make a blank? And George, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the official answer is we cannot speak about any future products at this time.
Yeah, I can't. Will Corsair ever do a blank? The answer is I can't tell you. We don't normally talk about unannounced products, and obviously, anytime we do say anything, it's possible that someone takes it out of context. I did find out, yes, the XD7 does fit in the 5000T. In fact, it's in HP's build that we showed off. So.
We can confirm that Corsair will do new products, though. That's confirmed.
That is, well, I mean, look, man, at any moment, a meteor could hit the planet, and that's the end of it. And then I would look like a liar after the complete extinction of humanity. And I don't want to feel like that when, the prokaryotes come back and start saying, like, this guy didn't know what he was talking about. So, yeah, yes, barring unforeseen extinction level
barring
events.
Armageddon.
Barring Armageddon, Corsair is always working on new products. And someone asked me this just the other day. We will constantly use feedback from stuff like this chat right now to decide what products to do. So when you guys sit here and think like, oh, Corsair never listens, I can tell you firsthand, I have taken screenshots from these chats, sent them to product managers, and they have adjusted roadmap based on these things. So you guys that are posting comments in the chat right now are actually part of our product development process. And my job now is actually product development. So I'm reading this chat wondering, hey, can I integrate things that you guys are saying here into my roadmap, and then go and talk to the other product developers into their roadmap as well.
It's super true. I saw a lot of people in chat saying, where can I submit my cool idea? And the answer is right here.
Yeah, there's a let's be very clear. We take feedback, but if you send us like, hey, I did a case in CAD and here's the CAD for it, and you send that to me, I'm not opening that CAD. Not just because our IT department will freak out, but our legal department will freak out too. So, it's one thing to say, hey, you guys should make a bigger keyboard or something, or a headset that is more comfortable for people that have big heads or something. That's fine. We can do that. But when you come in, it's like, I had this weirdly specific idea to make a chair that looks exactly like this. Like, no, I can't open CAD. So we can't accept unsolicited ideas, but we do incorporate your feedback. So it's a very hairy line to walk, but we do walk it.
Important distinction for sure. Here's a question. What kind of switches are available for the K70 Pro?
K70 Pro, I know, has the MX Speed switches available. I'm not sure which other switches that are on that website. So you'd have to check and see. We do have the ability to put various other switches on there. So if you guys like something specific, like MX Browns or Reds, or if you guys like stuff like the Omron light switches that we had in the K100s, rather not the Omrons, but the light, sorry, I can't remember the name of it. Sound like an idiot now. But the optical switches we put in the K100, you'd be able to see that as a request probably. So.
Yeah, and I think it also varies by region too. So it depends where you're looking to procure your K70 Pro, if you will. Okay, on Twitch, Subho92 says, can IQ LC100 be used on a wall?
I mean, if you ran an extension, because the USB header is an internal, so you could run it to an external USB and then put it anywhere you want, but they're very small. They're not the size of some of the other wall-mounted things out there. I did find out on K70 Pro, just FYI, reds, browns, MX speeds, blues, and MX silence are available. So that's what we have today.
Awesome. Thank you. Roby, I was laughing at your Vanna Whiting, your large panels on the wall. So just for scale, the LC100 is much, much tinier to fit in one's PC case, not very large to fit on Roby's wall.
I mean, you could. I mean, it's funny. Like he said that, and I was like, you know what? Probably going to do it.
Someone could do it, and that's the fun of it.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I would kind of, in my head now, I'm thinking about like, because they're smaller, you could create a higher resolution, like kind of logo. And if you had a bunch of USB hubs, you could do, 18 by 18 by 18. You could conceivably do a few hundred of these things on a wall and make a really cool, relatively high resolution.
I'm actually going to make the background that's behind you. So we can do that. There
this
you
is
go.
all
So
LC100s actually.
And all that.
This is
Look at me
not the
thinking like a
LC100. You can't do this easily. This is something that would take time and effort.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past some folks, though. I mean, there are people out there who will spend oodles of time, and honestly, it's probably a form of therapy to put that kind of attention to detail and time into their, gaming room setting or streaming room setting. So I don't put it past anyone. I think it would be super cool if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd need a lot of external USBs.
Is that something people want to see in the chat? You guys want to see, wall-mounted LED screen stuff that we can do, like what's behind Roby there in his logo?
And then you have it all connected with IQ, because you can use the wireless stuff. That would be rad. Can I have a weirdly specific idea, George, that I'm going to send you in a CAD. You can open it.
Yeah. What is this? Not a virus.exe is that you sent me? Is that? That looks fine, right?
Gentlemen. All right, here's a question from Twitch. Katie Trey 590 says, can the 5000T fit 3 140 millimeter fans in the front?
3 by 140 in the front. It's built for 3 by 120. I know you can do 280 in the front. I'm not sure if you can do a 3 by 140.
I don't think so.
I would
Looking
do it on
at
top.
it, I don't think
if you were doing a 3 by 140, I would use the top for that. I know it can't do it on the motherboard panel, and I know you can do a 280 in the front. I wouldn't think you can do a 420 in the front.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for that question, and it's cool to see, as people kind of are starting to put together their builds in their mind, having the experts here and people who've built in that case before to answer those very specific questions is very nice. I think we've all kind of been there when you order all the components for a PC and get them all in and realize that physically they won't fit in the case.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's so sad, but it's happened to all of us. Roby, am I right?
Yes. No, it has happened to all of us. Even me, after as many builds as I've done, I've still gotten stuff, and it's been live on stream. So those are the best ones, because then you just get publicly ridiculed. Well, wait, haven't you done this before? Yes, a lot. And I messed up. So
I did verify just now. No 3 140s in the front. So yes, I'm correct. You cannot mount 3 by 140s. You can only do it on the top.
Awesome. All right. I have another question here from Twitch from Markson. What about the 500 millimeter fan?
It
doesn't fit in the case.
It doesn't fit in the case. And actually, since there's only one on the planet that I know of, although I did hear somebody else is paying for one to be made, but we do have the one that we did for originally an April Fool's Day video, but people have been begging us to make it real for months and months and months now, so almost a year now. So I can't talk about unannounced products, but I can say that is something that we have heard people wanted, was a 500 millimeter room fan.
I was on that list.
Yeah. Actually, me too. That's funny that we, like, the way that our April Fool's Day videos work at Corsair and our funny videos work here is there's always like a brainstorm session, and then the kind of social guys come up with what we're going to do. And for years, since even before some of the social guys were here, we thought it would be funny to do a giant case, like a room fan that was like a replacement side panel for a case, like, hey, upgrade your cooling with the new Ultra fan extension. And then they actually had it made. They had a group make it, and it turned out really good. So unfortunately, it's so good that now people want to buy it.
Hey,
It's a good
I
problem
think
to
some
have,
of the
let's
best
be honest.
ideas have come out of April Fool's videos, so I'm all
Yeah.
for it. Roby, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say I mean, the thing is that's, sometimes those end up being the best ideas. You know what I mean? And so I like it.
What was
So
it?
I'm ready for it,
Think
George.
Geek
Anytime
did
you want us to test it, we're here.
the Tauntaun sleeping bag at Think Geek like years ago that they did as a joke, and then like so many people wanted it. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll actually do it.
I have one. I'm
So
one of
you're-
the people that bought it after that April Fool's joke. Yes, and it's amazing. But yeah, I mean those are the shoot for the moon ideas, and then gauging reaction, maybe they'll become a thing for sure. I do see some folks still asking about that bundle. So if we could get the bundle links in chat one more time, and George, could you just go over them one more time for anyone who
Bundle
may have
is
missed it a little earlier?
3090 Founders Edition graphics card at the MSRP, combined with all the stuff we talked about on the stream today in a bundle. So you get the 5000 T case, you get the all-in-one cooler from the Elite LCD. I believe it's an H150i. Some LC100 light panels, an extra fan for the rear. So you get the fans that come with the cooler, the fans that come with the case, and an extra fan for the rear. All bundled together, all sold at MSRP. We're not milking anybody. We're not gouging anybody. That's sold at price at the MSRP. You can bundle them all, get a HydroX build or an all-in-one build on the Corsair website. So the links will be in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know a lot of folks are still asking about the giveaways, but yes, the giveaways are still open. I know there's some questions as to how long they're going to be open. Limited time. I unfortunately don't have much more specific than that for you. But the giveaways are still open, and stay tuned because we have not announced all of them yet. I will say that. So
Someone also asked me to remind you guys that the bundle does include a 1200 watt HX power supply. So that's part of the bundle. I didn't mention that. I mentioned the cooler, I mentioned the fan, I mentioned the lighting strips in the case, but the power supply, arguably one of the most important parts of the PC is included. And it's an HX series 1200, which is one of our best products in the lineup. So 1200 watts, HX level quality, really good, really quiet, fully modular.
And you actually get that efficiency, George.
Yeah, that's nice.
You get the actual PSU efficiency, 1200 watts.
Yeah, so you get the high wattage and also the high efficiency because the HX series is a premium product level. So check it out.
I would say, George, since you brought up that the PSU is sometimes often underrated or overlooked in builds, Roby, what would you say is the most underrated component in a PC build?
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I would say the two ones that I've seen, I'm going to go with two because there's two that I say, like PSU is definitely one of them. The second one is cooling. People it's something they struggle with is like you'll see people throw really beefy CPUs with really underwhelming coolers, right? So cooling your CPU and making sure your PC has really good power and at the right efficiency actually makes all the difference. So, George, I think you would agree.
Yeah, I think for me, I think that, are you talking about, when you say what are the underrated, what are the kind of like under the radar products that make a big difference? There's two, like you mentioned. So for cooling, everything works a little differently than it did a few years ago, right? Like it used to be that, if it overheated, it just turned off. Now it overheats and it just throttles. And so you don't even know really. You could be running at max load. Your system won't turn off. It'll still run. It just runs terribly. It'll run at throttling its performance level. So keeping your CPU cool. If you have a 5950 or the Intel equivalent, the 12900K, the high-end performance, they're premium products. You better have at least like a 280, if not a 360 cooler on it. Realistically, these days, they are massive TDP loads. Your GPU is the same thing. If you can't power your GPU, so for me, the power supply is critical. If you can't keep the thing powered, it may not necessarily throttle. It's not going to throttle, but you could have all kinds of weird bugs that are impossible to troubleshoot. Power supply issues are notoriously difficult to troubleshoot. So if you have an underpowered power supply, or if you have a bargain basement kind of no-name power supply that is rated, hey, we have random tech 7,000 watt power supplies, they're impossible to figure out what's going on. You could have over temp issues, you could have over current protection issues, you could have unreliable 12 volt rails that don't have good voltage regulation, poor electrical noise levels and stuff like that are causing the VRMs to work harder. There's literally a list a million pages long that you could have and that are impossible to troubleshoot. So get a really good, reliable power supply. You don't need to buy the most premium power supply. Like I know we sell AX1600Is, but not everybody needs an AX1600i. Just get something that's reliable from a good brand, that's got a good reputation, and that is, relatively efficient and quiet.
Yeah, and then I think the last thing I would add is just I think there's a reason that high airflow cases. A lot of people will put really good cooling inside of cases that just have issues with block ports and all that sort of stuff, right? So, I mean, I can talk about PC builds all day. There's always these things, these mistakes that come in there, but I mean, that's why I like cases like the 5000T, the 5000D, and then they have all the modularity to still make your PC look good, but then they're not restricting your airflow. So when you're using your coolers, you're using your PSUs, all that sort of stuff, you're not having any issues making sure they get the right amount of air, and then you're not thermal throttling, which is super important. So
Yep.
I'm going to always add that in there. So, I mean, and then there's lots of communities out there. If you're new to wanting to build, it doesn't have to be me. I mean, Jay, all of them, right? Like, go and check it out, right? There's plenty of videos that'll help you do it. But I mean, they're saying the same things George and I are saying. So if you don't believe us, we're not the only ones saying it.
Absolutely. And having a good case that can help with that airflow is so paramount. Yep. I have a question. Actually, there's a lot of questions right now on both Twitch and YouTube about the bundles. But Tuico True, I think, asks one of the most important. Can this bundle run Crisis?
Oh, nothing can run Crisis.
Yeah. So,
no,
so actually, we
it
have
can run Crisis. It's a 3090.
Yeah,
3090
we have run that PC on Crisis. Yeah.
Like, you have never. Let's be perfectly clear. The 3090 is one of the most beastly graphics cards ever created. Right. There's the only thing even better than that, or higher performance than that, is the 3090 Ti that NVIDIA is talking about. So, I mean, realistically, the 3090 is, if not the best graphics card you could conceivably buy today, it is one of the best graphics cards in the industry. It can run anything within reason. I'm sure that there's some guy in the chat that'll argue, well, if you actually set it to 9K resolution, and yes, you're right, it can't do that. But yes, you can run Crisis with this bundle.
I'm laughing at Jamie. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. In YouTube said only the remaster though.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we have run. No, that's not. We have run the original, right? We've run the original on those specs before, right? Just because people always ask that question. So yes, I can confirm that even the original version and the remaster do run on that build with no problems at 4K. 8K, it starts to get a little dicey.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're the one guy sitting there running, a couple of 8K screens in side by side, yeah, you might have to.
We tried it. We had to.
Might as well.
Well, I would say I did see this question earlier about the bundle, and I don't know if you're able to answer this, George. But someone had asked if the 3090 bundle can come in both black and white.
No, it is what it is today. It's what's in the inventory. So I believe it's a black bundle right now for the black 5000T.
Okay, perfect. And Roby, I believe you mentioned this a little bit earlier in the stream, but you had mentioned that you're going to be doing a build later today using the 5000T, yes?
Yep, we are actually we're literally going to go, well, I'm going to leave here very, very shortly and get prepped for that. But yeah, we're going to be doing a build in the 5000T with all the bells and whistles. We even have the LC100s. We're also giving away, we're also going to be giving away a 5000T on that stream. So if you didn't win in this one, you have another chance on my stream as well. So why don't I leave you guys to it? I'm going to go jump out and start getting prepped. And then we'll see you over on my stream here pretty quick. I'm going to do some more teleporting around. You know what I mean?
Later, Roby. See you, man.
Okay, well, before we end things, I did mention that there would be another giveaway. Okay. So I do want to let everybody know about giveaway number 3. So for this giveaway, this is a biggie. Buckle up, everybody. We will be giving away one 5000T RGB in black, one LC100 starter kit, one LC100 expansion kit, one IQ-LT100 RGB starter kit, 2 IQ-LT100 expansion kits, one K70 RGB Pro, one M65 RGB Ultra Wireless mouse, and one HS80 RGB wireless, and enter to win all of it at corsair.com/live. Ooh, baby, that is a bundle.
It's a lot of stuff. You can build a lot of RGB LED stuff with that for sure.
Yeah, yes, you absolutely could. So everyone, good luck to everybody who's watching now live and who is able to enter. This is it makes me so excited. I'm someone who is a huge RGB fan. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do think that personalization, whether you're into, as I like to call it, the unicorn vomit RGB look, or whether you're much more of a monotone, I like it all to be sleek in one color, or you only turn on a couple zones, etc. The fact that you have the various levels of customization to really make it feel your own
Yep.
I just think is absolutely awesome. And I am a big fan of in general. So like I said, good luck everybody in all of the giveaways that we've talked about today. And just a huge thank you. A huge thank you again to George, a huge thank you to Roby for taking time out of your busy schedules to help fill us all in on all of this fantastic information. And thank you to everybody watching this right now live. Whether you're watching this on Twitter, on Corsair.com, on YouTube, on Twitch, or any of the various places that this is streaming right now, thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Thank you for your questions. Answering questions, I feel like, is such an important part of this process, and getting that feedback, as George had said a little earlier. And a huge thank you to the entire team who worked so hard to put this entire stream together. You guys are awesome, and it's always a wonderful time to be able to come and do these.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
like
thank
Roby
you guys.
mentioned, George?
Thank you guys too. I wanted to, sorry to interrupt you, Tris. I do want to thank not just everybody who helped make the stream, but all of you guys watching the stream. And I've seen a couple questions on 5000T. If you guys are having any other problems, you might want to check all of the reviews of the 5000T that'll be showing up on your favorite review sites and channels over the next few days. They should answer some of those questions for you that we maybe didn't get around to. The 5000T is one of my favorite cases. No nonsense. It is a beautiful case that is as functional, if not more, than a 5000X or 5000D Airflow, but it is even prettier in person. Once you see this case in person, I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised. It is gorgeous. So that's it for me on the 5000T. I just wanted to let people know it is a beautiful chassis, and you guys will see a lot of reviews showing up in the next few days.
Yes, absolutely. Can vouch. I got a chance to see it in person as well, and it is absolutely stunning. So again, thank you to everybody so much for spending some time with us today. And I think at this point, we are going to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next Corsair Live. Bye, everyone.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Adam Royman with Origin PC. And in this video, I'll introduce you to the newest addition to our Millennium line of desktops, the Corsair 5000T desktop case with the new Corsair LC100 case accent lighting panels. When modern design meets exceptional performance, you get the Millennium 5000T. The Origin PC team strives to not only provide incredible performance, but also provide the highest caliber of service. This begins when we monitor every system built from start to finish. As one of our most popular award-winning PCs, it's no surprise that it also comes equipped with the highest quality hardware. We're happy to announce the newest Millennium 5000T. Corsair's newest case features expansive lighting, a unique contour design, and excellent cooling compatibility. It includes removable front and roof airflow panels to maximize airflow and allow for easy maintenance. Considering the 5000T's spacious interior, it can house up to 5 SSDs and 10 120mm fans for maximum storage and cooling. The Millennium's benchmark breaking performance is supported by up to an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3090 GPU and Intel Core i9-12900K or AMD Ryzen 9 16-core processor. Equipped with 160 RGB LEDs, if that wasn't enough, Origin PC adds even more personalization options. From the exterior design to the color of the sleeved cables, Origin PC can customize it your way. Another cool optional add-on is Corsair's latest product, the Corsair iCUE LC100 case accent lighting panels. This mini triangle starter kit lights up your PC case with 9 interconnected mini RGB lighting panels configurable in nearly endless custom layouts to further complement the beauty of your new PC. When you choose to include a Corsair iCUE LC100 case accent lighting panel, the Origin PC team handles all of the wiring of your new PC and includes the lighting triangles inside the accessory box, giving you full control over your system's appearance and lighting. Thanks for checking out the newest Millennium 5000T and the new Corsair LC100 case accent lighting panel. Be the first to learn more about future Origin PC product launches, future PC giveaways, and more by following us at Origin PC across all social platforms, and I'll see you next time.